Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Give double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the elect 144, to the sincere Akim pushing this truth out with all sincerity, and to the sincere Akwath who listen and subscribe. Shalom. I'm going to get a word of the day. I'm on the letter J. And that word today will be jurisdiction. Alright. And I'm going to jump right into it. Alright. So jurisdiction, I have multiple definitions, but they're all synonymous in one, to one another. They all coincide. Administration of justice. So when you break down the word jurisdiction, it's iuris. It says iuris dictio, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, meaning law, right, a saying. So when you break those two words down, it's ius, meaning law, right, and dictio, or dictio, a saying. So jurisdiction means saying a law or right. All right. Also meaning the extent or range of administrative power, domain over which a legal or judicial authority extends, and it comes from the late 14th centuries. Also meaning judicial authority, right of making and enforcing laws. Okay. Continuing, the official power to make legal decisions and judgments. The extent of the power to make legal decisions and judgments, a system of law, courts, a jurisdiction, if I'm pronouncing that right, or judicator. Jurisdiction over a territory relates to the geographical area over which a court has the authority to decide cases. All right. Certain law enforcement, they have jurisdiction over a certain area of that city. And when they cross that boundary, they don't have jurisdiction in that line. All right. It's kind of like if someone were running away from the cops or whatnot, or the federal government or whatever, in Texas, and they cross over to Mexico. They don't have jurisdiction in Mexico. So with that, those definitions, and when you get the etymology of the word jurisdiction, you ask yourself questions like, who is the judge? Who has complete jurisdiction? Who has full control over enforcing laws? Because with jurisdiction becomes the judicial part of the system as well, and that is enforcing the law and judging according to the law. Okay, so who is the judge? All right, and I'm gonna get the scriptures to answer those questions. All right, who is the judge? Ultimately, we all know who the judge is. So this is 1 Kings 22, and I'm going to start at 19, and I'm going to read through. All right. And he said, "Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on his manor, and another said on that manor. And there came forth a spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put the lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. All right. So you read that whole thing, you see who the judge is. Yahweh was the judge. He was sitting on his throne. Okay. And you had the angels on the right hand side and the angels on the left hand side. Okay. You could almost say that's like a jury. All right. That persuades, not totally persuades, but makes the decision. And when you're reading that, amongst them, they were conversing with each other, and I'm going to read it, okay? And the Lord, verse 20, and the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So one saying, we should do this, whatever. The other side is, we got to go about it this way, do this, do that. All right. But who was ultimately the judge and made the final decision? That was Yahweh. So that's one example of who the judge really is. And you could say that's sitting in the courthouse making the decision, accordingly. Here's another example of who the judge is. All right. This is Job chapter 1, verse 6. All right. And it reads, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. So it says the sons of the Most High, came to present themselves before Yahweh. When you come to a court or a judicial system, you present yourself before the judge. All right, and he judges accordingly, or he makes the decision. And then you have your jury, and you have your attorneys, and all that good stuff. But you present yourself in front of the judge, who makes the final decision, who has the final say so. All right, that's another example of how you show who the judge is, and that's Yahweh. All right. Now, another question you would ask, like I said, is who has complete jurisdiction? Okay, and we're going to get that too. All right. Who has complete jurisdiction? And this is Acts chapter 7, verse 48. I'll start at 49, just to get to the point. And it reads, heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. What house will you build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Hath not my hand made all these things? So who really has full jurisdiction? All right. And now I'm going to reread the definition of jurisdiction. One of them. Jurisdiction over a territory relates to the geographic area over which a court has the authority to decide cases. All right. So I read you 1 Kings 22, and I read you Job 1 and 6, okay? And both were in a court-type setting. They came before a judge, okay? And it says jurisdiction over a territory. Yahweh just explained right there what his territory is, all right? He has full jurisdiction over the heavens and the earth, all right? Because he created everything anyway, okay? So it says jurisdiction over a territory relates to the geographic area. Geographic area. You can say here on earth, there's geographical areas that we know of, that we're living physically in, is a geographical area, okay? He has full jurisdiction over that. Anywhere in your vicinity, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has control over, okay? And it says, over which a court. And again, 1 Kings 22, and Job 1 and 6, they came before the judge. So it's like in a court setting. And if you notice, while you're in court, everything is in order because the Most High deals with order. You know what I'm saying? And it reads again, over which a court has the authority to decide cases. Authority. Okay? I'm going to look up that word authority real quick just to get some edification on that as well. Authority. the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. All right. And you notice one thing in Job 1:6, Satan came to court and presented himself to the judge, and the judge gave authority to Satan or permission to go deal with Job accordingly. So what does that mean? What does that say? That Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has authority over Satan. And the word authority again means the power or right to give orders. So Yahweh has a power in the right, because he is the right, to give the order to Satan to do what he needs to do on earth. Okay? And it says, make decisions. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai makes decisions. He made the decisions already. All right? And enforce obedience. That's why the law is here. Okay? You have to abide by that law. You have to be obedient to your master. You can't, you can't serve two masters. All right? So you have to be obedient. So, going back, it says, in a geographic area over which a court has the authority to decide cases. And you can think about what's the case in the end times right now. The case is that the so-called white man has done a plethora of atrocities to the children of Israel, and they're going to be judged according to those actions. Okay? Because I was about to say judge according to the law, but the law was only given to Israel, not these Edomites. All right? But the 2/3 would be judged according to the law, because they can sin. All right? But again, it says the authority to decide cases. And the case is that the so-called white man is the devil. And there's cases being brought upon him. And it's going to be taken to court. And it's going to be presented to the judge. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The case is going to be, pretty much looked over. And then you got your jury. The legions of angels. You know what I'm saying? Who see the situation at hand. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know that angels are here right now, and they come down and report back. Okay? So who is the judge? We got that checked off. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's pretty obvious. All right? And who has complete jurisdiction? We're checking that off right now. As I read Acts 7:49, I'm going to read it again. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest? Hath not my hand made all these things? You see who has complete jurisdiction over everything. Another thing to back that. We're going to get more scripture to back that. Deuteronomy 10:14. Behold the heaven, and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's thy power. The earth also with all that therein is. Okay? So the heaven, in the heaven of heavens, is the Lord's. You got to know there's different heavens. Firmaments. No, you got earth as a heaven. You got, the outermost, sky and whatnot, heaven. And then you got the spiritual fourth dimension, heaven. All right? Paradise. Okay? So the heaven, in the heaven of heavens is the Lord's, that power. The earth also with all that therein is. Okay? So if he doesn't, if it's saying right there that he pretty much owns everything, then what makes you think he doesn't have jurisdiction over the geographical or territory area? All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, For ye are strangers and sojourners with me. All right. The land is his. Okay. When you read 25, Leviticus 25, that goes into the pretty much the land Sabbath, the Jubilee, blowing of the trumpet. You know, because it's during the seventh month, on the 10th day of the 7th month, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the Day of Atonement. You know. So we got that down. Who has complete jurisdiction, and that's again Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, who has full control of enforcing laws. Okay. And I'm gonna get something real quick. And this is Romans chapter 2. Romans chapter 2 and 12. So this is Romans chapter 2 and 12. For as many, and the question is, who has full control of enforcing laws? Okay, Romans chapter 2 and 12. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. Okay, now who has sinned in the law? The Israelites. Okay, and I'm going to jump down to verse 16. In the day when Yahweh shall judge the secrets of men by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach according to my gospel. All right. So, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is the judge in the court, and what law is he going to judge with? The law that's in the scriptures. Okay. So in the day that the Most High shall judge the secrets of men by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach according to my gospel, by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, because who's coming to crack the skies? And a judge, because he is the law. All right. Here's another one. Let's see. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and 2. All right. Do ye not know that the saints, the elect, shall judge the world? So the elect, 144, are going to be judging the world. According to what? The law. All right, the Torah. Okay? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? All right? So who else is going to enforce the laws in due time? The elect, man. We'll get the hell up out of here. All right. So with that, I'm going to get another scripture. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. I'm going to start at 5. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. And it's talking about, you can go to Zechariah 13 chapter. You can get it all. Okay. But it's talking about those men who labored in the work and went through it. Ultimately, that's the elect, man. Lord willing, we're part of that number. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine, okay, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Sounds like the Flash to me, man. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual power right there. They shall judge the nations. They shall judge the nations, okay? And have dominion over the people and have rulership over the people. And their Lord shall reign forever, okay? And their Lord shall reign forever. Yahweh Shai. All right? So with that, you can get another definition of jurisdiction, and that's jurisdiction over a person, because it says dominion over the people. Jurisdiction over a person relates to the authority, and we already got what the word authority means, and I'll read it again. the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. I'll get another definition of it. A person or organization having power or control in a particular typical political or administrative sphere. Okay? Jurisdiction over a person relates to the authority to try him or her as a defendant. Okay? What is a defendant? Here it is. A defendant is an entity charged with an offense in a civil or criminal case. Okay, so all the heathens, you got the 18 nations, okay, and that's including Yasha'Allah. So those 17 heathen nations and the Edomites, which are included in those 17 nations, are the defendant. All right, the entity charged with an offense in a civil or criminal case. Why all of them getting tried as a defendant? Why is that? This is 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. And it says, what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So every kingdom has gotten a part in the spoils and the downfall and put us in slavery. What is it? Whatever you want to call it, has had a part or a hand or a deal in messing with Yasha'Allah. So therefore, all of them will be the defendant. And who's going to judge them? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the elect are going to rule over them. Dominion over the people, because that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to give us the power to do so. All right. So jurisdiction over a person relates to the authority, so the power over somebody, okay, or the right to give orders to somebody, or to make the decisions for a nation or for those people. You know what I'm saying? And make them, or to enforce. So it's a an action you're forcing. You know what I'm saying? To obey you, and ultimately with the power that we're gonna possess, they're gonna have no choice. They're gonna want to obey us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna bring out a famous one. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And I'm bringing this out because this is just a few cases on these Edomites and other heathen nations of what, a few cases that they done. This is an open case. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be closed and solved. The matter is going to be, you're guilty. You know what I'm saying? Case closed. You know what I'm saying? But right now, this is the open case that they have on them. So, he that leadeth into captivity, all nations have a part of our spoil. What do you have to do to get a nation spoiled? You have to overtake them. And part of overtaking them is putting their women and children into captivity and killing off the men and taking the spoils. All right? Shall go into captivity he that killeth with the sword. So, like I was saying, you have to kill in order to get spoils. Okay? Must be killed with the sword. All right? And that's going to be the ultimate order, or the judgment of these Edomites in these heathen nations. They're going to get killed by the sword, and some of them get preserved to go into slavery to build our kingdom. And we're going to take our spoils, meaning we're going to take the land of Israel back, and we're going to take the dominion of the whole earth back. Everything's going to, that's our spoils. Okay? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. The patience and faith of the saints. All right? So with that, I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 2, verse 20, and I'll start at 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh, the overcometh meaning the ones that are predestinated. When you go back to Revelations chapter 2, and you can read verse 17, and it will give you a breakdown of that. All right. He that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end. So the ones that overcometh, the predestinated, obviously the elect, they're going to be doing the work. You know, if they're woken up at a certain time, they're going to be doing the work. All right. To him will I give power over the nations, authority over the nations. He will give us authority to do so, coming from the judge. And what the ruling will be is, boom, okay, here's the deal. You put them in captivity, so you have to go into captivity under them. I'm giving them the authority to put you in captivity. You killed them with the sword. I'm giving authority to them to kill you with the sword. All right? Boom. And he's going to say, they have authority over all the nations. Case closed. All right? And he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessel of a potter shall they be broken to shivers. I mean, we're going to be beating their ass, man. Even as I receive of my Father. And you can get another, some more understanding there, Psalms 110. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And you can read verse 9. So again, the jurisdiction over a person relates to the authority to have him or her as a defendant, and the defendant is an entity charged with an offense in a civil or criminal case. And you can say also that goes for these 2/3 as well, because they've actually offended the Most High Power, the one who created them. You offended the say-all, be-all. He exists. You offended the highest noble power ever. Like, there's no really word to really describe him. But you offended him. So what do you think the rule is on you? You got a case, you got an open case on you too, 2/3 of Israel. And you're going to be judged according to the law. All right. But verse 26, it says, and he that overcometh and keep my works unto the end. This is Revelation 22 and 12. And it reads, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his works shall be. Okay? As his works shall be. And it says in Revelation 2 and 26, and he that overcometh and keep my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So your works is what's going to get you rest, is what you're going to get power over the nations. Because he clearly said, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. The reward is to rule. One of the rewards is to rule over everything. Okay? To give every man according as his work shall be. So that's why we have to continue to work in this. All right? To get full jurisdiction over everything. Okay? And then one more question is, who has jurisdiction over the carnal aspect of life? Satan. And who is Satan given directions to? Yahweh Shem Shai is ordering Satan to give them directions to give a certain people directions on how to have jurisdiction over the entire world carnally. And that's Esau, man. That's Esau. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. All right. So woe unto them who decree unrighteous decrees. Okay, these laws that they come out with, these executive orders that they sign, these legislations that they pass. You know, it's unrighteous. Here's an example of one in the scriptures, and this also gives the validity of the scriptures, because people say, "Oh, I don't really believe," but that the scripture is just a bunch of fairy tale. This is Luke chapter 2, verse 1, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus. Caesar Augustus was real, man. All right, that that all the world should be taxed, and this taxing was first made when Cyrenius, who is real, look him up, was governor of Syria. All right, but that's an unrighteous decree to tax everybody, to tax them on their hard work. That's an unrighteous decree, and that's who has jurisdiction over the carnal aspect of things. Proverbs 29:2. Proverbs 29:2, and it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right? So we see who has jurisdiction over everything, even the carnal and the spiritual side, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And we see who has jurisdiction, who we put to have jurisdiction over us. And it's these damn Edomites, the basis of men. All right? So again, quick definition of the word jurisdiction: extent or range of administrative power, domain over which a legal or judicial authority extends. Okay? So word of the day today was jurisdiction, and with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the elect 144. And like I say all the time, man, keep pushing and keep fighting. It's not the time to fall out, because guess what's about to hit? All hell. It's going to break loose, and you don't want to be a part of that. Because really, the only way out of it is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And if you're not under that veil, you're just going to get wiped out by the famine, like the book of Lamentations says. And also 2nd Ezra 16:22, it says many shall die by famine, and that's a horrible way to die. You'd rather die by the sword than by famine. Also says that in the book of Lamentations. All right, so all hell's about to break loose, and if you're not under the veil of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're gonna get the famine, the plagues, the sword, the diseases, everything. All right, and if you survive through that, you're gonna get a swift missile up your ass. Excuse my French, but it's true. All right, there's no time to play around. With that, I'm going to say shalom.